I've been daily vlogging over on my second channel for like 9 months at this point, and for most of that time I've been using this camera, the Canon Vixia Mini X. For whatever reason, a couple of days ago it died, like completely died. That said, I have dropped it probably 40 times in the last 9 months. So I'm gonna see what I can do to fix this, but in the meantime, I'd actually already ordered another camera to try out. This is the Olympus Stylus TG870. Now apparently this camera only came out in April of this year. I think it was announced at CES. And on paper the specs on this are really not all that impressive. The lens is not that great. It does do decently wide angle. It's equivalent to about 21 millimeters, which is wider than most point and shoot cameras. It has a flip up screen, as you can see right here. The lens itself doesn't have a terribly fast aperture. If I remember right, it's like 3.5 at the widest. But what really impressed me about this thing is that it is tough, as it says here on the front. If it says it on the front, it's gotta be right. As you can see here on the side, it mentions that you can take it underwater up to 50 feet or 15 meters. You can drop it from 7 feet high, 2.1 meters. You can take it into 14 degree Fahrenheit, -10 Celsius, and it ain't gonna die, which is more than I can say for this one. Although rewatch the video on this one, check out my vlogs from the last 8 months or so. This thing does an amazing job in all lighting scenarios and has the best mic on a point and shoot that I've seen. And every time I took it out somewhere and was filming myself with it, someone would stop me and ask about it. So check this camera out. I've got a video I'll put in the description. But that's not what you're here for. Let's take a look at the Stylus TG870 so I can start using it. So at the very top, you get a warranty card, how to maintain the water resistance, probably useful information there, quick start guide, and a disc, a setup disc. Online user registration, viewer, instruction manual, stuff I'm never gonna look at. Otherwise, in the box, we get a USB cable. Not familiar with that end of it. There's a little bit of a closer look at it so you can see this is presumably the charging cable or maybe the data cable as well. Here is the battery, which is an Olympus Li50B, 3.7 volt, 925 milliamp hour. I have seen replacements for this on Amazon. They are super, super cheap for generic ones, so I might end up picking a few of those up. We've got a pretty decent length strap in here. Not gonna use it. A USB charger with an output of 5 volts at 1500 milliamps. And finally, of course, the camera itself. Now, as you may have caught there, unfortunately, there's not an external charger for this. But as I mentioned, if you go over to Amazon and pick up a couple of spare batteries for it, it does always come with an external charger. Those things are a dime a dozen. They all have switchable, interchangeable plates, and they get the job done. My Vixia Mini X did not come with an external charger. It just came with the one that connects to the side of it. I bought a spare battery. It came with a charger. That's the only thing I ever used. But here is the camera. Tough camera. As you can see there on the front, it says Olympus lens. It's a 5x optical zoom, 3.74 to 18.7 millimeter, which is an equivalent of like 21 to something bigger than that, with a 3.5 to 5.7 aperture range, ultra wide, because most of the time when you're holding a point and shoot like this, holding it at arm's length, you're gonna get your face and your shoulders and that's about it. With this, you should get a little bit more than that. But otherwise on the front, you see the lens, you see the flash. There's one button down here, it's a programmable button. You can make it do several things like capture picture, capture video. Over here on the right side, it shows you GPS and Wi-Fi, and here's a tripod mount on the side. On the other side, here's where a lot of the magic is gonna happen. This is where there's gonna be a lot of waterproofing too. There's a lock here, and then you click this to open it. Here's where the battery, the SD card, HDMI, USB, all of it's gonna happen in this area. So there's only one place that has to be really, really waterproofed. So let me go ahead and stick the battery down in here. It clicks into place. We'll close it all up. Probably ought to put in a SD card while I'm in there. There you go. So we'll go ahead and click it back closed and lock it in place so it shouldn't come open now. If I pull on it, it does not open. See on the bottom, another tripod mount. On the top, you've got the on-off button, left and right microphones, shutter button, and zoom button, and what appears to be a status LED. And then on the back, you have your LCD screen, which already has some fingerprints on it just from me handling the camera. Rotating dial here to select your mode. Play button, info, flash, okay, and what appears to be timer or burst mode with a menu button down here and a little clip of sorts. You could put your strap on there, or you could potentially put some sort of a stronger, tough clip to it if you really wanted to. Very solid there, nice. And the screen here is articulating, so you can flip it open just like that. So when you're looking at the camera from the front, you can actually see what's going on. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Just made a noise, and now it wants to set it up. I think it is a touchscreen. No, it's not. So we say okay. I'm gonna go ahead and walk through the setup and I'll be right back. That was relatively quick and painless. I will say it again, this is not a touchscreen, so don't expect it to be. Right now we are in P, that's program mode. We should be able to switch it here. There's the self-portrait mode you can shoot selfies with. Got a panorama mode. There's a sport mode, so you get faster shutter speeds. There's an art mode with a bunch of different filters and effects. Oh, and it popped up. The UI is a little bit slow, I'll go ahead and say that. Pop art, soft focus, pale and light color, light tone, grainy film, pinhole, diorama, cross process, gentle sepia, dramatic tone, key line, watercolor, vintage. So there's a bunch of art filters in there if that's something you choose to use. Scene mode should automatically optimize things for you. So you get portrait mode, e-portrait, which smooths your skin tone so you can view it on an HD TV. Landscape, interval shooting, live composite, which I guess it says it combines images taken with interval shooting, so maybe that's the HDR. Handheld starlight reduces blur with low light. Night scene is for, of course, night. Night portrait is for doing something with an illuminated background and a slower shutter speed. Sport, again, would probably give you the higher shutter speed. Indoor, sunset, fireworks, cuisine, documents, beach and snow, snapshot. This one specifically says for taking things at the beach or the pool. Wide, macro, backlight, HDR. Okay, so there's a lot of scenes there. Super macro, so that should be able to get super close. Oh, and it just zoomed in. I can rezoom. So it starts at 2.3x at that point. And then we're back to iAuto. Let's take another quick minute and go through the menus. Wi-Fi start, so you can always pair this up to a phone using Wi-Fi if you choose to. Compression, you can set it to normal or fine. Fine's gonna give you much fewer photos, but much higher quality. You've got image stabilizer, you can turn it on or off for photos. Date stamp, please turn that off. IS movie mode on hybrid, so you can have image stabilization turned on, off, or on hybrid. I've seen some samples out of this, a video, and with the stabilization on, it looks like it's warping. It's very, very odd. So I'm probably going to turn it off. I'm gonna test it all though. So I'll start with it on hybrid. That's what it was on. The microphone, you can turn it on or off, and you can turn the wind noise on or off. If you're outside a lot, if you're out in the wind, you're probably gonna want that to be on. You can play back your pictures and video. Can format, USB connection, all of these fun stuff. And there's GPS, Wi-Fi settings, button function, that's definitely gonna be useful. So if you look closely at this, it says the front button right now is to shoot a photo, and the back red button here is to record a movie. I'm gonna go ahead and change that to record movie, but you can also have it boost the monitor to make this brighter. You can have it turn on the LED, do the super macro mode, or do nothing. I want it to record movie. The back one, you can again change this one to do anything. I'm gonna mostly be using this as a video camera, so I figured I'll just leave them both on record movie. And sport cam setting, invert image, repeat, record, and sleep mode. So presumably if you wanted to put this on a car or something, you could use it upside down or sideways and have it just sort of work for you. So far, the UI, the actual interface you'll be using to deal with stuff inside the camera, it's a little slow, I'll go ahead and say that. It's not unbearable though. And while we're sitting here with decent lighting on, let me go ahead and just take a quick selfie with it. And see if I can play it back. Actually, yeah, the picture's not that bad. It's clear, it caught the focus, and of course, we're in pretty decently bright light here, it should. Let me try out the video. I'll actually use the front-facing button to start it. And now, hopefully, we are recording using the Olympus TG870 in 1080p mode. This is using, yeah, it's got the flipped up LCD, so I can see that everything's framed appropriately. I'm not holding it at an uncomfortable angle. Actually, having this left-hand side with the grippiness on it, it actually makes it very easy to hold on to. And like I said, the flipped up LCD, I can easily see that I'm in the frame, but I don't have to look up there. Peripheral vision, I can see it very easily. And let me go ahead and watch that back, make sure everything looks okay. I may have to actually go put these on my laptop and listen to them because the very beginning sounded like there was some clicking, there was some noise from the autofocus. If that's the case, I'm not gonna be real happy with it, I'll just say it. Let me give it another quick try. All right, we are trying this again. I'm just sort of moving it around. I wanna try the focusing and see if it's making a lot of noise, because if it is, I'm gonna go ahead and be really upset. Yeah, it's still making that noise. Let me go ahead and turn the stabilization off and see if that makes a difference. Okay, and we are recording again. I wanted to see if it's still making that weird vibrating noise. I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the footage off of this and put it on my laptop and see what it sounds like. Maybe also walk around inside and outside and get a couple of quick scenes with this. Then I'll be right back with you to wrap this video up. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with this. I wanna sort of try it out in different lighting scenarios. This is the very, very dimly lit living room, so looking in the screen, it's very grainy, but you can easily see what I look like. It's getting the job done, I think. Probably not going to be quite as good as it was on my Vixie Mini X. Let's test this. So I changed it over to P, to program mode. I wanted to see if that makes a difference or not. It doesn't seem to look any different really in terms of the video. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. So here's a very quick outdoor test of the TG870. This is evening, kind of sunset. Lower light, but not low light. There's all these bunnies out here. My neighbor's got a little compost pile over here. It's probably gonna get really dark. Well, maybe not. There's just some zoom. And bunny. That one's taking off down the hill. There's already one that's part of the way down the hill right there. Yeah, so I did some sort of A and B testing with this, just going back and forth, trying different things, different settings in the camera, holding it different ways and whatnot, and it seemed like no matter what I did, it always had that background vibrating, ticking, whatever. The picture looks pretty decent. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a very decent camera in terms of just video quality. Works all right in low light. It does get a little bit grainy in low light, but again, that's because it has a 3.5 aperture at the widest. It's just that the microphone. Between all that ticking noise, it seems to be constant. Basically, anytime it's trying to focus, and the hiss. There's definitely a massive hiss from the audio on this. I don't know if this is a camera I'm gonna end up keeping. I hate to say that, and I was really looking forward to this. I mean, I'm guessing at the very worst case scenario, this would make an excellent camera for taking to the pool, for taking to the beach, for taking to the Arctic or something. I don't know. I'm thinking what I'll probably do is I'll try to use it as a daily vlogging camera and see how it turns out. If that ticking noise, if the hissing becomes an issue, I'll definitely get in touch with the company and try to send it back, because this is like $230. I think it's $280 everyday price. I found it on Beach Camera for $230, which made it a little bit more justifiable for me, but if it's gonna have a problem like that, and I've seen some other sample videos from other people, I haven't heard the ticking sound I'm hearing out of this, but I've heard the hissing audio I didn't notice before. So I'm gonna have to think about it. Let me know what you think about the video quality down in the comment section below. I definitely like the build quality. It is very tough. I like the look of it. I like how wide angle the lens is. It's just that audio, and the audio is like, it's more than 50% of a video in terms of viewer longevity and everything like that. So I'm gonna have to think about it. And let me know what you think down below. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video. Links to where you can find this can be found down below as well. Subscribe to receive more of my videos when they become available, and I will see you again next time.